For several years, many astrologers have attempted to predict the outcome of political elections, and many have made accurate and successful predictions. For this recent consequential 2024 US presidential election, some astrologers did accurately predict the outcome of this election by looking at several astrological factors. However, there were many astrologers who incorrectly predicted this election. Accurately predicting political elections is quite difficult, and there are many necessary astrological components to be considered. This video will focus on one particular astrological element that our team felt was a major downfall for Kamala Harris all along. Rahu. In Vedic astrology, there are a total of 16 divisional charts, including the Janma or main birth chart, that are used to make predictions about a person's life. If the public record of Kamala Harris' birth details is accurate, Rahu is in the ascendant, or first house, of 15 out of the 16 commonly used divisional charts. Important note: when a person has Rahu in the first house, or ascendant, it makes it very difficult for astrologers to make accurate predictions on a person's chart, and many will fail when attempting such predictions. This video is not attempting any particular prediction, but rather emphasizing how Rahu's essence and significance can be clearly observed when reflecting on Kamala Harris. What does the first house, or ascendant, represent in a birth chart? The first house is a map for a person's entire life path. The first house is often linked to an individual's head, body, appearance, personality, character, fame, honor, and dignity. Since the shadow planet Rahu plays a very vital role in Kamala Harris' birth chart, we must understand who Rahu is and what Rahu represents in Vedic astrology. Who is Rahu? In Vedic mythology, Rahu originated as a demon named Swarvornu, who participated in a joint effort with the gods to churn an ocean of milk and extract the nectar of immortality, known as Amrita. Once the nectar was obtained, Swarvornu figured out that it was only going to be distributed to the gods and not the demons. So, he disguised himself as one of the gods and, in an effort to blend into an environment to which he did not belong, he sat amongst the gods and waited for the nectar to come his way. Ultimately, Swarvornu was caught as an impostor by the sun and moon who were sitting beside him, and he was ousted from the assembly of the gods. However, he was able to swallow one drop of stolen nectar before being stopped, and thenceforth became immortalized as the shadow planets Rahu and Ketu. Rahu, also known as the north node of the moon, is personified as the head of a serpent that swallows up the sun during the eclipse, as an eternal expression of vengeance for frustrating his efforts to steal the nectar of the gods. Rahu is also termed a Chaya Graha, or shadowy planet, since it has no real substance. However, Rahu is treated like actual planets in terms of the importance of their effects on a person's life. Rahu is mostly considered a natural malefic. What does Rahu represent? Rahu represents illusion, confusion, unfulfilled desires, destiny, addiction, obsession, and extravagance. Rahu means unorthodox, unusual, and concerns all things foreign and worldly. Rahu loves riches and wants the possession of all the material things and all the pleasure of life. Rahu can skew the native's perception of reality, causing a state of delusion. How to interpret Rahu's overwhelming presence in Kamala Harris's birth chart? Remember, the first house represents oneself, one's mind, and one's body, so Rahu placed here can make a person self-absorbed and willing to damage others to fulfill selfish desires. Rahu and Kamala. When Rahu is in the first house, it usually produces a politician, so no surprise there. Why is this? Having Rahu in the first house or ascendant allows a person to change personality, views and perspectives, allowing the native to mold into whatever environment or situation she is in. This can lead to a lack of self-identity and at the same time, makes it difficult for others to understand her identity as well. Many became frustrated with the constant changes in Kamala's policies and lack of understanding what she stood for. Interestingly enough, Kamala also seemed to be obsessed with relying on identity politics to lead to victory. The intense desire represented by Rahu can compel a person to achieve or obtain anything in the quickest way possible without considering ethics. A person may cheat or do immoral things in order to get what he or she wants. It has been alleged Kamala was the mistress to a powerful, married man who assisted in the advancement of her education and early political career opportunities and promotions. Kamala has also been labeled an EI candidate earning positions of authority and power without earning them by merit. If we refer back to the mythology of Rahu, the reason he stole the nectar from the gods is because Rahu wanted more than his limits of achievement. Sound familiar? Rahu wants quick money, quick authority and quick power in this life. Kamala very quickly raised billions of dollars for her campaign even after controversial speculations surrounding Joe Biden's exit from the presidential race. Of course, the money was just as quickly spent, leaving the campaign in serious debt. Much of this money was used to pay celebrities to endorse her, attempting to sway votes in her favor instead of working towards earning votes. The significator of obsession is Rahu. One of the major significations of the zodiac sign of Gemini is communication. Kamala's placement of Rahu in the sign of Gemini and her first house gives major clues to some of Kamala's own lustful obsessions as well as her communication style. Although her campaign attempted to have an illusion of joy, many could see her speech came off quite angry, which may have contributed to having staffing issues throughout her vice presidency. This astrological combination can also show why she often resorted to obsessively using extremely cruel language when speaking about her political opponent. Her entire messaging was designed to sell the people lies and unnecessary fear, such as threats to democracy, attack on women's rights, comparisons to Nazis and fascism, etc. In fact, unnecessary fear is another significance of Rahu. All of this can easily be attributed to Kamala's Rahu sitting in Gemini in the first house. Some of the unfavorable meanings associated with the sign of Gemini include restless, scattered, superficial, fickle, imitative, nervous and easily distracted. Kamala often seems uncomfortable during interviews and anything unscripted. She also comes off extremely superficial and is often criticized for not answering questions but instead producing word salads, which could be due to being easily distracted as well. Kamala and Rahu. But wait, there's more. What else does Rahu show in Kamala's chart? Rahu represents disguise and loves to play mind games. Without a doubt, everyone has heard the various accents Kamala used when speaking to different groups of people, hoping to relate to them through a fake and stereotypical way instead of using authenticity, which Rahu lacks.
I love you back!
Rahu is smoke because he has the ability to disappear in thin air. We know Donald Trump coined the phrase fake news, but Rahu is quite literally the evil behind fake news. There's no coincidence Rahu is smoke and mirrors, something intended to disguise or draw attention away from an unpleasant issue. The strategy is to confuse people so that no one is really sure what is real and what is fake. Rahu prefers this state of ignorance and confusion. Rahu is laziness. Many critics noted how often Kamala would avoid answering direct questions or speaking to the press. During her vice presidency, she was often criticized for not upholding her job responsibilities and was often nowhere to be found. Several people noted Kamala was devoid of genuine effort during her campaign by turning down events, podcasts, and interviews, and incompetent in fulfilling her daily job duties as vice president. Because Rahu is only the mouth of a serpent and without a body, it never fully digests anything it eats. Therefore, Rahu constantly wants more and more, symbolizing greed. A person tends to be greedy about the things related to the placement of Rahu in his or her birth chart. Kamala, having Rahu in the first house of her birth chart, one could say she is greedy about her entire life path. No such thing as coincidences. Let's review some of the main significations of Rahu. 1. Rahu is delusion and illusion, or Maya in Sanskrit. Interestingly, Kamala's sister's name is Maya. Kamala wants to give the world the illusion she is a smart, tough prosecutor who is extremely qualified for the job of president. Don't forget her many accents. Many people following the election felt Kamala was disingenuous or fake. 2. Rahu represents foreigners, foreign places, and foreign influences. Neither of Kamala's parents were American and she spent much of her life in Canada. 3. Rahu is irregularity and unorthodoxy. Most of Kamala's positions were decided for her and given to her. She did not earn them in a traditional, merit-based way. 4. Rahu is faulty logic and harsh speech. Kamala pretends to be joyful but actually comes off demeaning. Her policies are based on faulty logic that did not meet the concerns and needs of the American people. Perhaps Kamala believed she would continue to be handed promotions as she did throughout most of her life. 5. Rahu is addictions, drugs and alcohol. It's no secret people have mocked Kamala for looking or appearing as if she was drunk when in public. 6. Rahu represents snakes and reptiles. What's another meaning for a snake? Someone who is a backstabber. Think about the coup against her boss and friend, Joe Biden.